Good day, my name is Goudsmit. I'm working for Goudsmit Magnetic Systems in Waalre, the Netherlands. I want to talk in this video about the two basic magnetic systems, the block magnets and the bar magnets. All systems for magnetic separators are built on this idea. I want to start to tell you something about the block magnets. The block magnets are designed to have a deep catch field, so the magnetic field is penetrating deep into the product. This is a big advantage when you want to handle high capacities, because the gap between your magnet and your product can be more. The difficulty is that it's very difficult to catch very small iron parts. Stainless steel is not possible to catch with plate magnets. To give you more inside information, I want to tell you more about the construction of such a block magnet. The block magnet is always built up with a steel base plate on which you glue two rows of magnets, north and south. The base plate is necessary to prevent that the magnetic field will go out there. You have a shortcut between north and south in the bottom, so there is no magnetic field at that side. The magnetic field is going out at the other side. That's what you want. That's the side where the product is flowing on. As it is important to have a deep catch field, we made an extra construction and we call it flux control. Here you see the drawing of the magnet with flux control. Again, you have the steel base plate, and on the side you have the north and the south pole, but in between you have the flux control. The flux control is something that will give a deeper field, about 20%, which you can see in enclosed diagrams. On the left side you see the diagram where you have no flux control, and on the right side you see it with flux control. You see it's about 20% higher, that field. So that gives a big improvement in separating. The installation of a block magnet is actually easy, but it is very important that you take care that under the magnet there won't be any steel. What will happen? When you have a magnet above the steel will be magnetized and will be a magnet itself. So the part will not go up to the magnet but will stay on the belt. Therefore you must be sure that under the magnet there are no steel idlers or no steel plate. That's something what you should consider. If you want to improve the separation, it should be advised to hit the magnet so that you have direct contact. The better the contact, the better the separation will be. Also take care that the speed of the belt is not too high. When the speed is more than 3 meters a second, the time under the magnet is so short that it will be very difficult to trap iron. So don't make a belt with 4 meters a second and hang a magnet above it, because you will not catch it anymore. Now I want to give you some photos about typical installations for block magnets. On the left side you see a chute magnet, which is a plate which can be mounted directly to the existing structure in your company. The plate takes care of cleaning and mounting, and what you do is you pull away the magnet, and so the iron parts can drop off aside. A typical place for this is the entrance of an elevator. On the right hand you see the entrance on an elevator where a plate is mounted. This was very convenient to trap parts bigger than 1 millimeter. This was for sugar in this case. Most of the time you also deal with chutes. The advantage in a chute is that it's free flowing and more easy to find metal parts. Left on the bottom you see a housing with 2 strong magnets at the sides. Those magnets you can turn away, and then you can pull away a stainless steel plate and the iron will drop off. On the right hand side you see a photo in practice. It was for recycling pellets. The wood should be clean, but as you can see there are a lot of nails hanging on the magnet. So this magnet is very effective for bigger parts. Also typical systems are a block magnet. At the left, that's a normal situation, and on the right you see a drum magnet. A drum magnet is not recognized directly as a block system, but you can make it in the same way with a deep catch field so that you can trap bigger parts, so not only for small parts. Drum magnet can also be made as a bar system, and then you have a high intensity field. So far my story about the block magnets. So the block magnets, you should remember, a deep catch field, but not possible to trap stainless steel. If you have very small parts, then the installation of a bar magnet is advised. The bar magnets have a very intense low field so that they can trap also stainless steel. parts from circa 30 micron will be caught. In fluids you can handle 5 micron plus. In fluids it's more easy to trap. Bar magnets has the disadvantage that they will give blockage, and the capacity is limited compared to the block magnets, but they are highly effective and therefore mostly used in powder and bulk systems, and if you say to the maximum capacity of circa 100 cubic meters an hour. Let's go deeper into the drawing how the bar magnets is built up. As you can see, there are a lot of parameters that will influence the field. The distance between the pole plates will give the depth of the field. The more distance you will have, the deeper the field will be. The thickness of the pole plate will give an indication of the Gauss value. The Gauss value is for everybody very important. So when you have a very small steel plate, the parts will have a high Gauss value and will give a better view for your performance guarantees. Now some pictures of installations of bar magnets. Bar magnets are for low capacity. Most of the time it's for smaller pipes, vertically flow. But it can also be used in pneumatic lines. That's very important because in pneumatic lines you have a lot of space to build in your magnets. So in pneumatic lines, bar magnets are advised more than plate magnets. Again, the product speed should be limited to 3 meters a second. Don't talk about the air speed. The air speed is about 20 meters a second, but the product speed is always lower than this. We have a lot of possibilities to check it, and we have done a lot of things, so if you have questions, contact us for this. Typical systems for this are the boxes, where you have 2 rows of magnets under each other. We call it clean flow magnet. A lot of people call it mag box. Or only 1 row, and then we call it a grid on the right hand side. You can also have semi-automatic systems, like the one on the left, that are easy cleanable, and also for fluids. This is what I wanted to tell you about magnetic bars and block magnets. This is the base of all separators. If you have questions about this, contact us and we will give you a straight answer. Thank you for joining us.